We're asked to make a truth table for the implication if P and Q, then P or Q. To begin, we have a column for P and Q and list all the possible permutations of true and false. We have true, 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 false, false, true, and false, false. And then we have a column for P and Q, a column for P or Q, and finally a column for the given implication. For reference, I have the basic truth tables here on the right. P and Q is only true when P is true and Q is true, which we can see appears in the first row. Otherwise, P and Q is false. The column for P and Q is true, false, false, false. Next, P or Q is false only when P is false and Q is false, which occurs in the fourth row. Otherwise, P or Q is true. The column for P or Q is true, 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 false. Now for the given statement, an implication is false only when the hypothesis is true and the conclusion is false, which means when P and Q is true and P or Q is false. Notice there is no row where P and Q is true and P or Q is false, which indicates the given implication is always true. The fourth column is true, 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 true. Next, we're asked to make a truth table for the implication in which we interchange the hypothesis and conclusion. We want to make a truth table for if P or Q, then P and Q. We already know the column for P or Q from above is true, 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 false, and we already know the column for P and Q from above is true, false, false, false. Again, the implication is false only when the hypothesis is true and the conclusion is false, which in this case is when P or Q is true and P and Q is false. Notice this occurs in row 2 as well as row 3. The implication is false in these two rows and true in the other two rows. The column for if P or Q, then P and Q is true, false, false, true. I hope you found this helpful.